Understanding how Ebola spreads within intimate relationships and the associated legal implications requires looking at both the unique biology of the virus and how public health laws operate during active outbreaks. 1. Transmission dynamics and bodily fluids. Ebola virus disease, EVD, traditionally spreads through direct contact with the blood, secretions, or other bodily fluids, such as vomit, feces, saliva, and sweat, of an infected person showing acute symptoms, or via traditional burial practices involving deceased victims. However, a major public health challenge is viral persistence in survivors. Even after an individual completely recovers from acute symptoms and clears the virus from their bloodstream, the pathogen can remain hidden in immunologically privileged sites, often called immune sanctuaries, such as the eyes, central nervous system, and the testes. 2. Intimate partners and multiple partners. Sexual transmission. When Ebola persists in genital fluids, its transmission dynamics shift from a typical hemorrhagic fever vector to functioning like a sexually transmitted infection, STI. Semen reservoirs. Studies tracking survivors show that Ebola viral RNA can persist in semen for months, and in some documented cases, up to 9 to 14 months post-recovery. Live, infectious virus can be shed intermittently, long after a patient feels entirely healthy. Vaginal fluids. While data is scarcer, the virus has also been isolated in vaginal secretions of survivors, though typically for shorter windows, around 1 month post-acute phase. The multiplier effect of multiple partners. In an active outbreak zone or post-epidemic environment, a survivor who is unaware they are still shedding the virus can inadvertently pass it to an intimate partner. If an individual has multiple concurrent sexual partners, this creates a rapid hidden web of transmission, sparking unexpected flare-ups or brand new clusters weeks or months after public health officials believe an area is clear. Because of this, global health agencies strongly recommend that male survivors practice absolute abstinence or consistent condom use until their semen has twice tested negative for the virus. 3. Legal liability, mandates, and punishment. The concept of punishment regarding the transmission of Ebola via intimate contact or multiple partners is governed by a mix of local criminal codes and public health statutory frameworks. Criminal prosecution for knowing exposure. In many countries, knowingly exposing someone to a deadly communicable disease without their explicit informed consent is treated as a severe crime. Depending on the jurisdiction and the level of intent, an individual who knows they are infected or are a shedding survivor ignoring medical advice and continues to engage in unprotected sex with multiple partners can face charges ranging from reckless endangerment and criminal assault to involuntary manslaughter. Public health isolation and quarantine violations. Public health acts give governments the legal power to enforce mandatory isolation for active patients and strict quarantine protocols for exposed contacts. Intentionally violating these containment measures, such as hiding contacts or evading health workers, is a criminal offense, typically a misdemeanor or felony, that can result in fines or imprisonment. Regional enforcement context. In regions heavily impacted by outbreaks, such as the ongoing Bundibugyo Ebola virus strain outbreak in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, and Uganda, public health mandates intersect with strict local legal environments. For example, Uganda enforces rigorous punitive codes regarding certain sexual behaviors and relationships, which complicates contact tracing, because individuals may hide multiple partners out of fear of legal or social penalties. The public health paradox. While criminal laws exist, global health experts generally discourage heavy-handed criminal punishment for disease transmission. Punitive crackdowns often backfire. Fear of prosecution or intense stigma drives infected individuals underground, causing them to hide symptoms, avoid contact tracers, and refuse isolation, which ultimately